what's that one technology, that has really surprised you?
An LLM can assume a particular persona and talks to you. This is something which is very fascinating. So first of all, let's acknowledge, yes, there is a problem. Right now, every marketer has more than 10 to 20 tools in his stacks which he uses on a day-to-day basis. So new tools are being bought on top of existing tools. Nobody asks a question that how much of these tools are being utilized.
And the last thing that every marketer, depends on is an Excel file.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you, almost all of these tools have an export to Excel option. Okay. If you are looking for a single source of truth, then why do you need an export to Excel option?
Exactly. What is the problem that you want to solve?
Once you getting a particular tool or buying a particular software, you have to first think that, hey, what is the business processes it is solving? Is it doing anything for my customer or not? If it comes, is it replacing any of my existing tool or not?
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of B2B Marketing Podcast, presented by B2B World Summit and powered by Brand Story Digital. And many marketers struggle today to extract the real value from their marketing stacks. In this episode of Making Tech Work for You, we are going to discuss some of the key aspects of how to simplify your stacks and therefore how it can help solving your business problems. I am your host, Saikat Das Mohanty. Joining me today is Sankalp Chaudhary, Marketing Lead at Brilio. Sankalp is a seasoned marketer with a passion for storytelling and technology. He currently looks after high-tech and healthcare and life sciences as the key segments. Hello Sankalp and welcome to the B2B Marketing Podcast.
Hi Saikat, thank you for calling me here.
Sankalp, before we move on to our core discussion today, I wanted to start with a very important question. I would not say important question, I would say like a quick question. AI is everywhere today. Okay, so and when I look at what you have done over the years from in your career, what's that one technology that has really surprised you by making storytelling more human? So what really kind of stands out for you?
I think something which has been most surprising for me is the LLMs which are evolved as of today. Okay, how can they make story more human? Because when you are interacting with LLMs, right, the first thing which you ask an LLM to do is assume you are something,
Right.
and then complete this particular task.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The very aspect of an LLM having a capability that it can assume a role, okay, is something which you can use to put that particular model into different feeds,
Right.
okay, different feeds of a persona of your customers, and see what it gives out to you. Okay, something which we only assumed before.
Right.
Now I'm not saying that this creates a situation where you don't talk to your customers but only talk to LLMs. Okay, but an LLM can assume a particular persona and talks to you. This is something which is very fascinating.
Right.
And it has only been possible because a lot of data and a lot of information around the world has been co-cycled into one particular model.
Right.
And this is something which I never had dreamed of, but it is a reality today.
Yeah, very well said. I think LLMs are kind of really helping and are helping in probably shaping your overall content, the things the way you are doing it, and obviously in terms of overall your search and everything. So I think very valid point there. I think kind of agree to you. Great. So let's get into our key
let's do
discussion
that.
point.
Yes.
martech stacks.
Yeah.
Okay, and the first point that comes to my mind is that martech stacks being overloaded. Is there a problem today? Okay, so we the reason I'm saying so is that we kind of often hear about this whole thing called shiny object syndrome. Okay, where people are going after everything that is coming into the market. Okay, we also hear about lack of governance. We hear about data silos, integration nightmares, leading to entire martech overload. Okay, so from your experience, why do you think marketing teams have kind of landed here? In a situation like this where martech overload has come into place, and do you think it's a fear that they're going to miss out on something? Okay, the FOMO fear, or is it is it about simply buying tools that are available today or that are coming into the market before even defining the problem that they want to solve? So what's your take on that?
So I would say it's a bit of everything and more. Okay. So first of all, let's acknowledge, yes, there is a problem.
Yeah.
Right now, every marketer has more than 10 to 20 tools in his stacks which he uses on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So new tools are being bought on top of existing tools. What is actually happening here is nobody asks a question that how much of these tools are being utilized. Now, if you bought a particular, say, ABM platform, are you utilizing its full features?
Yeah.
Okay, if one person is utilizing all of the features of that particular platform, is the entire team utilizing those full features? Okay. Or sometimes what actually happens that a good number of tech stacks are bought just for showcase that yes, the marketing team is innovative and data driven and is using AI. That is more of a signaling which you do to the board. Well, not you. Sometimes your leaders do, and you end up buying a great stack which nobody knows how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the time, see, as marketers today, we have to do a lot in very less time with budgets which are shrinking quarter after quarter.
Yeah.
Right. So tools is something which we latch on to. Okay. But once we have those, what actually happens is, initially there is a good amount of hype with respect to that tool. But when you see that not everybody is using it, just becomes a part of your, I would say, shelfware.
Right.
It remains on the shelf, does not get used.
Correct.
Okay. So these are some of the things because of which, we accumulate a lot of tools. Okay. And currently, what actually also happens is integration is something which we are talking about today. Okay. During 10 to 15 years ago, when martech was at boom, almost all softwares which marketers are using, whether it be an email automation platform, ABM platforms, intent-based platform, they were majorly heavy loaded on features.
Right.
Okay. And we were buying them based on features.
Correct.
Okay. As and when we have those tools, now we have to justify the entire ROI. Then we are thinking, okay, which of these tools can talk with each other? Okay. So it's a mix of all these problems. And I wouldn't say that we landed ourselves there. The situation was such that, we all of us are facing the same kind of problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So I think you mentioned something about 20 tools, enterprises have today, which is huge, and I think
I'm being conservative. I'm actually being conservative.
I'm sure a lot of enterprises might have large ones also, many more tools.
Yes.
But I think what I have also kind of seen is that while we have so many tools and all, we don't use it to the fullest. And the last thing that every marketer depends on is an Excel file. Because everything happens on that.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you, almost all of these tools have an export to Excel option. Okay. If you are looking for a single source of truth, then why do you need an export to Excel option?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Because that's where you're not using the real, you're using the tool to the complete.
Correct.
That's the thing. So on that point, so do you think the overload problem that we have today in martech is more of a technology problem, or is it a decision making problem?
That's a good question. I think it's a decision making and governance problem, but it has a technology mask to it. Okay. The inherent nature of these problems is like, suppose if you have broken processes, okay, solving you cannot solve it by buying a tool on top of it.
Correct.
Let's take a very simple example. I'm a B2B marketer, and maybe one day my client partner or sales team says that, hey, your leads are not of a very good quality.
Right.
Okay. So instead of looking into how my leads are scored, okay, how do I route it to my salesperson? How do I ensure quality? I automate the entire lead process.
Lead management,
So what will happen? He will get the same bad quality leads at a very faster pace.
Correct.
Okay. So here AI or automation, will create a kind of dysfunction.
Right.
Okay. So unless and until, coming back to the question, whether it's a technology problem or a decision making problem. So it's a decision as well as governance making problem. Once you have your processes and your methods, your fundamental setup really well,
Right.
a tool will only amplify it.
Right.
Okay, but poor processes, poor fundamentals, a tool will take you very fast to a situation where you won't want to go.
I think that's a great answer. I think, I think, yeah, it cannot be a single
It is
issue.
not.
It's
It is
not
not.
because of a single issue. It has to be both. And I think, agree with you that yes, both decision making and technology, lead to this overload problem today. Now that we have spoken about, martech overload, which is a genuine problem today. Now let's get into a little more deeper into understanding your own stack. Okay, now what's happening is that while we have our stacks, we probably do not understand what is there in our stack and what it can do for us. Okay, and therefore we tend to start investing in more tools which can bring, okay, I can do this from this tool, I can do this from this tool and all. So in your understanding, what are some of the early signs, or the warning signs that that marketers should look at from their martech stacks and try to solve that first rather than getting into more tools and all of that. So how do you really get into that, finding those early signs?
First, one has to identify whether your existing stack is complicated or not. Okay. Now there are very ways to find it, but one thing which you should look at, and we will come back to this particular topic again, is how fast you can react to your customer intent and buyer intent.
Right.
Okay. Suppose you got an inbound inquiry, right, and you have to reach out to that particular prospect. Okay. So that time duration will tell you how fast are you with your stack, because you have
Right.
almost everything which is present there. Okay. So when you have so many tools, AI, but your day-to-day processes are slow, there hasn't been a reduction on reaching out to a customer or finding insights or getting ready with content, right? That means your tools are not working for you.
Right.
Okay. So first step to find out whether you have a problem is to see that are we faster than before or not. Okay.
Okay.
And once you go into this particular exercise of doing an audit on your tech stack. So when I mean tech stack, have a look at everything which your marketing teams uses. It can be tools, it can be software, it can be plugins also which you are using, and then find out whether this particular tool of mine is solving a marketing problem for me or not.
Right.
Whether I can tag this tool to a customer impact metric or not. Or in very simple language, is it doing anything for my customer or not?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Once you have the list of your tools, essentially you have to figure out figure this out as a simplification exercise rather than a cost cutting exercise. Okay. That how do I reduce the number of my tools so that my day to day is very simple. Okay. So once you have all your tools, the first thing which you have to look, which I also tell everybody to look, is there a tool which your entire team hates? Okay. Nobody likes to log into that particular tool. Login data will tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the time we get tools which are very fancy, ABM platforms, automation platform, but when we look into that data, login data, we find that very few people have been using it. Okay. So you have to actually question, do I have to get this tool out, or will I have to make people more comfortable with this tool? Okay. Do a training exercise so that they can activate more features of this particular tool. So this is something which you have to figure out.
Okay.
And most of the time when you list these tools, I have been in IT industry and you have been part of projects. So there's something which we do is called a RACI matrix. It's a very common, which is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Okay. So when you look at different tools, if there is not a person who is accountable with that particular tool, chances are it is not doing you a favor. Okay, you would have to oust that tool or put that tool into a sunset mode.
Right.
Okay. Also, once you have all of this in place and you have identified, hey, which tool is doing what, how I can impact it with a customer, whether somebody is accountable or not, you will get a very good picture of how you can simplify your stack.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But don't take it as a cost cutting exercise.
Okay.
Sometimes you might need a particular platform or tool which you haven't fully utilized. Okay, and just because people are not using it, you would want to let it go, but you would want to take a relook at that particular tool as well.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Basically, what he's saying is that, one is, go back and look into your tools or the stack and try to simplify what they are there. And I really, agree to your point that user usage, is very, very important to see how many
Yes,
people
it
are
is.
using it, because
It is.
there are a lot of people who are used to a certain tool and they're comfortable using that, but when a new tool comes they might not like it, and they're not comfortable using it, so the adoption also takes time.
I personally carry that bias. Okay, so when I was implementing a particular platform, okay, I was gung ho about that particular platform.
Right.
Every features,
You loved it.
I loved it,
Yeah.
and then I realized that hey, I'm loving it. Why is not everybody else loving it?
Correct.
Okay, then I realized okay, my learning curve and their learning curve is different. My day to day is very different. I do that job.
Yeah.
Okay, but they do 10 other things also.
Apart from
So
that,
they
yes.
would want to simplify their lives.
Yeah. What practical steps teams should start taking to cut through this clutter of so many tools and all of that, and how important is it for the tool to directly work with the business goals rather than marketing activities? So in that context, how do you really implement a simplification of your
So let's talk about simplification. There are many ways to think about it,
Yeah.
and it all depends in the context of your organization. Okay, suppose if you're a very big organization, removing all of the tools might not be an option for you.
Right.
Okay, but one thing which I have realized, in my time of working and looking at different kind of teams, okay, sometimes a good martech strategy is also a good hiring strategy. Okay. Suppose if you hire a good set of marketers who are data driven, analytical, curious, even if you give them a mediocre tech stack, they are going to outperform, a couple of marketers who have all the tools at their disposal,
Right.
but they don't use
Correct.
full lot of them. Okay. So people is something which you have to always look at.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You cannot have great set of marketing tools and an average set of marketers.
Right.
And a great set of marketers and average set of tools will give you always outperform the former.
Right.
Okay, so hiring is something which you have to always look at. How much comfortable a particular person is with different tools, and they can use that tool for a particular advantage or not.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now coming to existing tools which you have. Okay. There are multiple things which you have to look when you have to sunset a particular tool or not use it or remove it from your tech stack. Okay. First of all is its capabilities. Okay. What things it can do. If it is able to perform a good amount of activities, then chances are you would want to train your folks with that
Right.
particular tool.
Right.
Second is connectivity. Can that tool talk to other parts of your tech stack? Your CRM system, can it talk to your marketing automation system, and can it talk to your analytics system, and analytics system can talk back to your CRM system? Essentially, this is the B2B marketing trifecta, marketing stack trifecta, which everybody looks at.
Right.
These three pieces should work really well. Okay. So first being capability, second being connectivity. Third, we talk about people, which is culture.
Yeah.
Okay. A great culture would always facilitate adoption of innovative tools. Okay.
Right.
Four things which we can think about is cost. Okay. Depending on which tools which you are using, if something is very expensive and it is hitting your bottom line, obviously you would want to relook at it.
Got it.
Okay.
Very well said. I think like it, the way you have put it together, the 5 C's, I think there's very important capability is very, very key. Culture, which is people, that is very important. Connectivity is also important. Then we spoke about cost. Yes, at the end of the day, it is cost, whether I have to look at that. But that might not be the major factor, but it is one of the key factors.
Yeah.
And the fifth one you mentioned was
Compliance.
And compliance is very, very important.
Compliance
because
is very important.
Yeah, in this world of data privacy and all of that, and obviously complying to those rules and regulations, it becomes very important.
Yeah, we are using all the tools today which have AI built in
Yes.
it. Okay,
So-
so responsible usage, ethics, okay, and governance is
very important.
something which we have to go with.
Perfect. So I think very, very, very well said, and I think that's how you can actually simplify your martech stack by putting it together in a framework of a 5Cs kind of a framework.
Yeah, again
which will-
theory, but sometimes theory works too.
Theory works, but I think it's easier to while you put it in theory. But what I see is that when you bucket it into these 5 segments or C's, I think it'll be easier for one to actually simplify the task.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So on that point, the thought that I have is that so now when I have to evaluate a martech stack, okay, or a tool, okay, so as a marketer, should I look at integration feasibility or features? What do you say?
100% you have to look at integrations first, okay, because you wouldn't want a tool which work in silos and is not talking about your customer.
Correct.
See, any kind of tool or the data which it produces adds to the complete picture of a customer.
Correct.
Okay, whether it is your automation systems, a person is visiting your website, okay, visiting different pages. So any automation system which you are employing today, okay, whether it be HubSpot, Marketo, it'll give you a lead score with respect to that particular person. Okay, so that is one. Okay, that person might be present in deals or be present in your Salesforce systems or your CRM systems. Okay, and third, that particular person has a analytics associated with it as well.
Right.
Okay, so integration is something which you should always ask for. How many tools it can be integrated with. Okay, and easy plug-in kind of integration. Sometimes what happens, you buy a particular tool, but then integration remains on roadmap. Okay, and it remains on roadmap for a very long period of time.
And then you have to actually invest a lot more time to actually create something to be able to integrate it.
And this is what technical debt is.
Yes.
Okay. Technical debt is essentially you have bought something. Okay, and you are working on its feature or paying for its features, but it is not talking to your system. It is like buying a credit card. Okay. So when you have purchased something from your credit card, you first pay the principal, otherwise your interest will compound. Okay. And here integration is paying that particular principal.
Got it. Very good. Very well said. I think integration focus is very important, and that's what I think we need to do, because I've seen cases where, as you said, technical debt, it is there. We have bought tools, but the tool is still not usable, or the features are not usable because the integration is not. And we had to invest a lot more time in making making that integration possible. So that's a problem area. Great. Okay, great. So we have simplified the stack. So we have the 5 C's now with us, which helps us in simplifying the tech stack and therefore identifying what to have, what not to have. Okay, so that has happened. But what about our future? Okay, because there are so many new things coming up. AI is everywhere, and AI is leading a lot of things today. So marketers still always will have this fear of that, I am going to be outdated if I'm not keeping up pace with the future or with what's coming up. So when we talk about this whole future proofing of your martech stack, okay, what are the key trends that marketers should keep an eye on, and that helps them ensure that okay, these trends are going to continue and therefore I need to keep on investing. So what are those key trends that you think?
So you mentioned about what's coming in the future. I know there's a good amount of conversation which is happening around AI. Okay, I am also seeing that agentic AI is the buzzword in the market today. So previously we used AI to get answers. Okay, now AI will act autonomously on its own. Okay, which is essentially the philosophy of agentic AI. So when I look at marketers and my own role today, I think it's not actually about predicting what new thing is going to come. We have to understand that we are going to a particular point where AI is going to act as an orchestration layer against all our tools, the entire tech stack. Okay, so I can converse with an AI that, hey, I'm having a webinar next month. Find me around 50 leads from this particular area on healthcare and life sciences industry.
Right.
And it is going to run a campaign for me. So that being said, what is my role there? Okay, my role there is to somebody who knows how to set a goal.
Yeah.
Goal setting is a very important aspect
Right.
of being a marketer today.
Right.
Setting constraints with that particular AI, giving him what he should look and what it should look or it should not look into, and then establishing guardrails.
Right.
Okay, so almost all tools, CRM, automation tools, analytics tools, ABM tools, account intelligence tools today have an agentic AI element which has come in the market.
Right.
Okay. So we are shifting towards a particular phase where all of this can be done with AI, but my role is not of an operator now. Okay. My role is somebody of who can do governance.
Yeah.
So think of me as a chief of marketing staff.
Yeah.
Where AI are my subjects and and they do work for me. My role is to see if they are doing it right or not.
Right.
Okay.
Great. That's a great answer. I think we all know that the future, is going to be much more interesting and challenging.
Yes.
So we need to keep eye on these trends. I think that's a great point to have. Great. So we spoke a lot about martech stack, the overload, simplifying of it, and what the future holds for us and all. In your experience or anything that you have seen in your overall journey, any great example of any brand which has really done some really good work in terms of utilizing the martech stack to the fullest and has been the leader in terms of solving business problem using the martech stack. So any examples that really
There are
stands out?
many. There are many.
Yeah.
If you look into almost every organization is doing it today.
Correct.
Okay. I can recount a IT services company which one day realized that it has 100 plus tools.
Yeah.
Brought it to 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nothing broke. Okay. Their leads went up. Their conversions went up. Okay. I can also take a look at IBM. At one point of time, they had different marketing silos. Okay.
Right.
They fixed that.
Yes.
Okay. One thing which I always look at how a brand called Snowflake.
Yeah.
Okay. Does its account-based marketing.
Great.
Okay. It is available, for you to read. And what they have done is they have fixed their processes first. Okay. They were able to segment their teams into different teams: enterprise, mid-market, and there was a central team which was a center of activation team, which laid out governance for all these teams. Okay. When they had all of these processes set up, it is when they utilize martech stack to do one-to-one ABM personalized marketing.
Right.
Okay. So this is something, again, the fundamental is that you have to first set your processes right.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And if you use automation on top of that, it will take you in a right direction faster.
Got it,
Okay.
got it.
But automation without the right set of processes
Yeah.
will take you, it's only dysfunction.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And also, I think it's also important for people to also put the the business problem right.
Yeah.
What is the problem that you want to solve with
Yes.
that? Because a lot of time we do not have that, and if you don't have that, then you will not be able to. You will, even if your processes and automations are there, then you still will be going round and round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have to have a very more rigorous process of getting a tool in.
Correct.
Maybe once you getting a particular tool or buying a particular
Yeah.
software, you have to first think that what is the business process? What is the business processes it is solving?
Yeah.
Is it doing anything for my customer or not? If it comes, is it replacing any of my existing tool or not? Okay. Or in a very simple metric, how many of hours I can save
Right.
from this,
Got
which is also a very important metric.
Right. Completely agree with that. Great. So I think Sankalp, very, very good conversation.
Yep.
And thank you for sharing some of these really interesting
Pleasure is mine.
Insights. Now, before we wrap up, I have a quick rapid fire round with you.
Let's go.
Share your thoughts, whatever comes to you
Okay.
first in your mind. Okay. Quick questions on martech. So one word or in one line, if you have to describe the current martech landscape.
Over-engineered.
Wow, that's okay. Very good. Okay. Shiny object syndrome, the real problem or overhyped excuse?
It's a bit of everything, but it's a real problem.
It's a real problem. Great.
We like shiny things.
Yes, we do. More tools or better integrations? What matters more?
Better integration, always.
Always. Great. AI in martech, savior or next wave of overload?
it's a savior with governance. Otherwise, it's not.
It's overload. Okay, great. And one metric marketers should focus on to know the tech is actually working.
Coming back to what we spoke earlier,
Yes.
how fast you can react to a buyer intent or to your customer.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, Sankalp.
Thank you, Sankalp.
Thank you for
Lovely
sharing
conversation.
those quick answers. Also, I think that actually summarizes our entire discussion.
Yeah.
So my overall take here is that martech stacks are going to be here, and they're going to solve your real business problems. If we fix what is our real business problem, we fix our processes and all of that, I think martech stacks can really work really well for us and do the job that we really want them to
100%.
do. Okay, and the one thing that I'm really taking out from here is the 5 C's, which
Yes.
I really
Let's repeat those.
Yeah. So for our viewers here, the 5 C's, from simplifying your martech stack, which
Capability, cost, connectivity, culture, people matter, and finally compliance.
great, perfect. So great, Sankalp. Thank you so much, and it was great having you here.
Yep.
And
Likewise.
listening to you on these really important points. So for our viewers, thank you for tuning in to another episode of B2B Marketing Podcast. For more such insights, join us on 20th March in Bangalore for the B2B World Summit and Awards. Until then, focus on your existing market stack and find out what are the problems that are there within the stack, and probably lose one tool today.